Next, from the state capitol, on the day the legislature overrode the governor's veto of the concealed carry bill, lawmakers from the greater Chicago area expressed their growing concern about the level of shootings and murders in the Chicago area. This runs about 15 minutes.
First, I would actually like to say thank you so very much for coming to the press conference to hear about the challenges we face in the city of Chicago. I'm joined by my wonderful colleagues, some of who will come up and speak. Others will kindly introduce themselves, but they're legislators. Some are leaders in the House, some are former leaders in the House. I think most of you know about the mayhem that continues to exist in the city of Chicago. It is so important that we realize that all life is important. Each and every day in Chicago, we're losing the lives of young Americans. Are they all gang members? Are they all mistaken identity cases? Are all of their lives unimportant? Well, 2 children under the ages of 7 were shot this week in different locations. One was shot at Cole Park at 83rd and King Drive, right across the street from where Officer Wortham was killed as someone attempted to take his motorcycle. Shortly afterwards, there was a major press conference with our Chicago police and community leaders. This park is now safe. You no longer have to worry. This park will now be safe for children. Well, our little boy, one little boy found out it wasn't. He's in the hospital in critical condition. The lives that are being lost are so important. Some of them are college students. They come home on vacation. They're with a cousin, they're with a friend, they're going to the store. Boom, their lives are lost. Some are elementary school children. Some of them are out of school. Some of them are babies walking with their mothers, and they're being shot. Some are alive, some are paralyzed, and some are being killed. How can we go about our day as if everything is normal? This is not normal. If they are important, and if we value the lives of all of these people, not white people, not black people, but people, older people, younger people, living, working, not working in the city of Chicago, they should be safe to go about their day. Currently, no one is. They're not safe. Our governor visits the funeral of every veteran who passes in our state. And we appreciate that from him because their lives are important too. Veterans who have given their lives for all of us to remain free in America, in Illinois, in Chicago. So I appreciate the governor going to these funerals. But there are funerals where nobody attends. They're not veterans, they're children. And nobody goes but their families, their church member, their pastor. I wish the governor would go to some of their funerals. I'm sad to see the people who are fearful to come outside. The children now have to stay inside and play video games. They can't play jacks and hopscotch like I used to. They can't swim. They can't climb a tree in the park because their lives are not safe. To those who continue to wreak havoc on our community, they should be apprehended and they should be severely punished. But it appears we don't have enough officers available to apprehend them. When we read in the paper about these cases, most of them are unsolved. No one is arrested. I do not need someone to give me the number of people being killed and then say that the crime rate is going down. Tell that to some of the parents who cry each and every day. Some of our babies do not die. Some are paralyzed for life. Some are traumatized for life. Some continue to need psychiatric help. I am requesting with this press conference that Governor Patrick Quinn order the Illinois National Guard, the Illinois State Police, come to Chicago and work with our mayor, Ron Emanuel, to provide safety for the children especially, for all who walk the walk in Chicago. We deserve it. We're important. Our kids are important. Many people talk about we need jobs, we need education. We do, but that's in the long term. Right now, we need an immediate solution to what's taking place. A shooter should not feel safe in shooting, running away, shooting people in a car all the way to the hospital. People have stopped calling for an ambulance and driving themselves because it takes the ambulance so long because they're so busy. What kind of city is this? It's not the city I've grown up in. It's not the city I want to leave for my children. We ask that the governor also, as he brings the state police and the National Guard, that he appoint a special task force to direct and guide the behavior of the National Guard. We don't want them to have us fearing them also. We want them there for safety and protection. We want the governor to bring back Superintendent Hilliard, Superintendent Weiss, former Chicago police superintendents. We want him to bring hospital personnel in a task force. We want him to bring school personnel to tell us on a daily basis what these helpful resources from our state should do. Should the state police and the National Guard run and drive down 79th, 87th, 95th, Halsted, Western? Should they drive where this mayhem is taking place? That's what we'd like the governor to do. A task force bringing people in to advise the National Guard, state police, what you need to do on a daily basis. Mr. Governor, we need your help today. With that, I invite any of my friends, and come on up, Representative Ford, Representative Flowers, all of you, come up. Please give your name and just tell the world what's going on in our city.
Well, thank you, Representative Davis. I want to thank you for having the courage to stand up for the families in the city of Chicago and all over the state that's losing their lives. It's important that I'm here today because I live and represent Austin. And just over the weekend, within 24 hours, 7 people were killed in Austin in less than 24 hours. And so I think that Representative Davis' call on the governor to do something is just as important as we meet and have a special committee for pensions. And so the House of Representatives in April, late April, passed a task force. Everyone here voted for a task force to create a violence prevention measure. So the governor could sign it. I would urge him to sign it. And the mission of the task force will be no extra cost to the state, but it would coordinate state-funded agencies to include community mental health programs, to provide direct support to community churches, schools, and community nonprofits that would prevent violence by giving at-risk youth and adults opportunities to make choices that will lead them away from situations of violence. And so I urge the governor to sign the bill to put into effect the Violence Prevention Task Force that's sitting on his desk and has been there ever since April of this year. And so with that, I would thank all my colleagues that's not experienced the same violence that I'm experiencing in Austin, but they're here to stand with all of us because they know that every child is a child of God and a child that contributes to all of our lives and the betterment. So I want to thank them for being here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm State Representative Mary Flowers, and I come from the 31st District on the southwest side of the city of Chicago. I, too, would like to take this opportunity to thank my colleague, Representative Monique Davis, for calling this press conference. I happen to disagree with the governor calling in the National Guard. I disagree with the state police coming in, but what I do agree with is the governor needs to do something. We must be respected in our community. We must have jobs in our community. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. We need jobs. We need opportunities. We need better schools. We need a better system. On the south and west side of the city of Chicago, those are the only two pockets in the city where the crime is on the rise. Where there is jobs, where there are opportunities, where the families have an opportunities and the kids are being educated, crime is not running havoc in those communities. So if we want to do something, we must put something viable in these communities. There's been food deserts there. There's no emergency rooms, very few hospitals. They're closing up the mental health facilities. The only thing that we have is gun crimes and mother's tears. And no mother should have to cry because she sent her child out to play. And the fact of the matter is, this is still the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois where we have opportunities. And Beverly is not very far from where I live, but Beverly is not experiencing the same problems that I'm experiencing in Inglewood, because the people in that area, they go to work every day. They have jobs. They're able to send their children to college. They can afford to do so. The people in Inglewood, those opportunities have been taken away. We need better in our community, and I'm calling on the governor not only to march. Don't just march in my community. Bring something to the table. Put jobs in our communities, make our schools better. To close up 50-some-odd schools, that is asking for nothing but trouble. That is not in the best interest of our children. Thank you very much.
You're watching the Illinois Channel, an independent nonprofit corporation formed to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of Illinois state government and other public affairs events taking place across Illinois.